Enzo Fernandez, well, he's not for sale. Chelsea Football Club have put a stupid fee on his head, and if Real Madrid want him, you gotta break the bank. Furthermore, we've got an update on Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. Mikel is out, and Mikel is out in full force to the point where he says, pick up the phone, it'll be done in a couple of days. Genuinely, that simple of a deal to make. We're going to talk about what John Obi Mikel said. Victor Osimhen's to Chelsea, the probability of that happening. Chelsea are also linked with 3 goalkeepers, 3 young goalkeepers that already have played first team football. Don't worry before you all overreact. Some of them have got 200 games on their name. However, all 3 are very, very unknown quantity names unless you play Football Manager. And finally, Anthony Taylor is going to be the referee against Chelsea and Nottingham Forest on Sunday, so the meltdown has begun. I'm going to tell you why this actually might be a good omen and why under Anthony Taylor this year, we've actually been a very good team. So before we get started, number 1, hit that like button. For those of you that watch on a daily basis, that's got to be like paying your rent. You know what I mean? You got to do it. You come here, hit that like button, and you're welcome to stay forever and always. Love. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're very welcome in here. We talk about football. We're realistic. We're optimistic. But at the same time, we say what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So you've got everything you needed. Let's get started. The accountancies and admin work is out of the way. Let's move to the stories. For those of you that watched my video yesterday, I told you guys I was very unhappy with the links from Enzo Fernandez to Real Madrid and the way they were heating up. A lot of people in the comments below, oh, you're making 2 and 2 together. Well, as soon as I gave this video and released it, all of a sudden what ended up happening was so many outlets came out with a story with more information. What do we know? We know that Real Madrid actually want Enzo Fernandez. It's not a secret. They've made it public. They want a midfielder. They want a Galactico signing. Enzo Fernandez fits their bill. They are interested in it. Furthermore, there was some reports that came out from a rubbish source saying that Enzo's already 80% of the way there. He's agreed personal terms. He's looking for a house. That's waffle. That's not true. I don't believe that source. No one's confirmed it. It's someone trying to make a name for themselves. So we're going to need to be very careful with that. What we do know, and it's come from good, viable sources that we trust. Number 1, from Nazir Kinsella. Nazir Kinsella basically is a journalist that works, if I'm not mistaken, for The Independent, if I'm not mistaken. And he is very informed on the club's proceedings. He knows a lot. The club most probably gives him information. He's got sources most probably close to the club that give him information. Hence, when he speaks, 9 out of 10 times, you need to be listening, especially on situations like this. And what does he say? Chelsea have set a fee on Enzo's head. It is over the £107 million mark. They want more than £107 million to let Enzo Fernandez go. Makes sense. You signed him for 105 million, 2 years on, Premier League experience. He is a better player now than when he came. So I like that. Madrid aren't paying that kind of money. Furthermore, he said there are only 2 untouchable players in the squad. Number 1 was Caicedo. Number 2, Cole Palmer. Enzo Fernandez was untouchable. All of a sudden now, he's not untouchable. That makes me worried. However, what this also tells me is they're not going to let him go for cheap. And if he does go, it's 107 million. Hopefully they reinvest it, but I don't see it happening. I'm actually a lot more at ease, the fact that I saw 107 million or more. The one problem that could happen that nobody is like considering, Enzo throws his toys out as Praman says he wants to leave. As of this moment, we have not seen, heard, or been mentioned to anything that Enzo wants to leave. So that is brilliant. That is beautiful. However, these Madrid links haven't died. These have been going on for, I think it's 12 months now. Before the FA Cup tie where he scored 2 free kicks against Emi Martinez and then he took his top off and held it like this, there were links for him to go to Real Madrid. Before he joined Chelsea at Benfica, there were links for him to go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid value this player. Real Madrid wants this player. And sadly, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, if it's not this year, it will be one day like it was with Eden Hazard. Real Madrid will get their hands on the player because it's Real Madrid. I've said it before, the knock is different. When these men knock, unless you're proper Chelsea, unless you grew up around the area, unless you supported the club as a kid, there's no reason for you not to go. I'm not going to lie to you. Madrid's better than London. I've been to Madrid. I've lived in London. I can already tell you the weather's nicer. The food is nicer. I just liked it there more. Genuinely, if I had the opportunity, I would relocate. That's how nice Madrid is. Madrid Football Club, as in Real Madrid, they're amazing. playing for being a Galactico is not only season defining, it's career defining. It's something that will be remembered for years to come. So don't be shocked if Enzo Fernandez ever leaves. Genuinely being honest, I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. This next story, for me, is very interesting. Look, John Obi Mikel is out in full force on his podcast again, and I respect it. You know what? I think John Obi Mikel is doing the footballing god's work, because what he's doing is he's trying to get our Chelsea back. Last year, I was getting annoyed by Mikel. I genuinely was, because I was convinced that at this moment in time, we've got to give Nicholas Jackson a little opportunity, because he got 15 non-penalty goals in the Premier League. Can he improve? If he can improve, he should be our number one. He hasn't improved. That ship has sailed. Now it's time to go get somebody better than him. I agree. John Obi Mikel on this part is doing everything he can to bring Victor Osimhen to the club. And what has he said now? He said, literally, it's a phone call away. The deal's been set up to a position where they already know what both sides want. They need to sit down, get it over the line. It could be done in a couple of days. That's how quick the deal could be done. He also said the guy's tailor-made for us. He spoke about Didier Drogba, spoke about the fact that the player supported Chelsea. He spoke about how he wants to play for us and how he's tailor-made with goals and assists for Chelsea Football Club. I agree with everything he said there. However, this is what I want to ask, because sometimes on this channel, what I like to do is ask why. Not enough people ask why these days. You know, like sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'll take that information, but why? Why is John Obi Mikel doing this? A, is he basically moving like a mediator so he's going to get paid? 2, is it because he's just a Chelsea fan? And this is what I think. I think he's just a Chelsea fan and he's a proud Nigerian man, and Victor Osimhen is basically the face of Nigerian football, and he wants him at Chelsea Football Club because why not? Face of your country, the club that you love, coming together, achieving great things. Chelsea becoming a good club right once again, because at the moment we aren't at the top table. Let's be honest. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I'm saying it again. Is it that? Or is it that John Obi Mikel is getting pressured by Victor Osimhen's camp to get him a move in Europe? Because Victor Osimhen's wages are so high. Nobody wants to pay it in Europe apart from Galatasaray or Saudi Arabia, which isn't in Europe. So the reality is, this is a very interesting situation. I think it's the second thing. I genuinely think Mikel is a Chelsea fan. He wants what's best for Chelsea. It's like me and Georgian player. If we ever get Kavkas View, if you don't think I was biased, right? If you think I was biased with Joao Felix, hey, wait till you see what I'm like with Kavkas View. If you see with Mika Tadze, if you see with David Tashwili, if you see me with all these players that play for Georgia's national team, that's when bias comes out. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Let's keep a step into the next part of the video. Look, Chelsea Football Club need a new goalkeeper. We all can agree on that, right? I think it's not a debate that Robert Sanchez isn't up to the standard. Jurgensen, I don't think, has been given a fair crack. I think he needs a loan. And I think he needs to go and play the way Petrovic has. And Petrovic has gone on loan and rejuvenated his career to the point where he came from New England, joined Chelsea, had a good year, earned himself a move to Strasbourg, played, and now a lot of clubs want him. Like, genuinely, we saw Bayer Leverkusen links, we saw Dortmund links, we've seen Monaco links. And what's happening is, he either comes back and becomes Chelsea's number one, or Chelsea go and get a new goalkeeper. Well, what we've seen in the last few days is, we're being linked with goalkeepers. And the goalkeepers that we've been linked with are, number one, Garcia from Espanyol. You know, the one that Arsenal have been chasing, and now they aren't getting because the resources aren't going to be allocated for a backup goalkeeper? That's who we're apparently chasing. And this has come from Seb C. Seb C is very good when it comes to Chelsea news and Manchester United news. He works for the United stand. He is very, very accurate. Like, his news is actually phenomenal. When he says something, it's 90% true. He used to get the Chelsea team news on Smash on a weekly basis. He used to know, he knew stuff about the Garnacho news before the Garnacho news broke through. And we saw all that in front of our eyes in January. And what he said is, Arsenal are no longer interested in a player. There's been a little dispute between allocating resources. The player will be available for £12 million if Espanyol get relegated. And there are 4 clubs that are interested in him at the moment. Barcelona, Manchester City, Chelsea, and Newcastle United. Great list of clubs. If those clubs are interested, means we're doing something right. You know what I mean? So, have I seen anything of him? He looks like a decent, competent keeper, but I'm not watching comps of him. So I've seen one Espanyol game, and that's it. Genuinely, this season I've watched one Espanyol game. I'm not watching keeper comps. Keeper comps are the biggest waste of time you're going to see. Next one. We're linked with somebody called Gabriel. He plays for Santos, and it is coming from Brazilian sources. I don't know nothing about him. I'm going to really struggle to talk here, but what I also know is he's linked with Saudi, he's linked with a bunch of clubs in England, and he's linked with a bunch of clubs in France. What I think this is his agent linking him anywhere and everywhere, get him out of the bottom half of Serie A in Brazil into a European league and get him paid. That's what I think. And the final player that we're linked with is someone I know more about, Marcin Bolka. So for those of you that don't know, Marcin Bolka came through the Chelsea academy, left, joined PSG. After he left PSG, I think he played for Nice and a few other clubs. He moved around, and now he's settled and leaving Nice because he's got 1 year left on his deal, and he's gonna cost £8 million. And this is where it gets very interesting. There are 4 clubs that want him: Nottingham Forest, Newcastle United, Aston Villa, and Chelsea Football Club. I believe this because Newcastle are looking for a new keeper. Aston Villa want to replace Emi Martinez because he's going to move on to bigger things. Chelsea need to replace Sanchez. And the one that I don't understand is Nottingham Forest because they already have Sels. So it's a little bit confusing. However, all in all, this is coming from a Polish source. What do I think? I think this is a lot of links for the sake of links. This is the summer window starting, right? We're going to be linked with a ton of players. Just because we're linked doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's when it's reoccurring links. That's when you start realizing maybe there's legs to this. And also, I think Petrovic is going to get the Club World Cup to prove himself. But we know Monaco won him. And if a bid of 30 million comes in and we go get a Garcia or a Bolka, I'll be happy with it because we make profit on Petrovic. We invest 8 million or 12 million into a Garcia or a Bolka. They get to play, and then Pendix comes in a year and a half. I know a lot of you want Magic Mike, Minyang. A lot of you want Diogo Costa. I don't see it happening, and I don't want to sit here and lie to you. Like I said, I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. When a big game is fast approaching, what I love is football fans, we become irrational, right? We become absolutely paranoid. We become irrational. We become shook. We start looking for faults in anything. We start picking arguments. We are stressed. We're skipping meals. We're not drinking water. We're not staying hydrated. We're not going to the gym. We're getting rattled, right? That's what tends to happen. And in this case, we've got a huge game coming up against Nottingham Forest. And it's been announced that Anthony Taylor is going to be the referee against Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. And classic Chelsea fans, meltdown commenced. And what I'm here to do is tell you, be easy. And the reason I'm saying be easy is because, relax. Firstly, the boys need to handle their business. It's got nothing to do with the ref. The ref can shag us. Don't give him an opportunity to shag us. Be yourselves. Play your football. Don't do nothing stupid, and we won't need to worry. However, this year, he's been the ref for us 4 times. We beat Fulham 2-1. We beat Bournemouth 1-0. We beat Spurs 3-4. And we lost to Newcastle at home. Manchester City at home 2-0. What does this tell you? It tells you, away from home, he's been very kind to us and we've won. Beautiful correlation. I also went back and looked at a few games that he's managed, right? That he's refed. 17 games, 9 of them win, 1 loss. I think there have been some high-profile decisions from him, and they tended to stem into just us not liking him. However, I think we need to be a little bit more rational, and I know I'm asking for a lot because we're emotional football fans, but it's not that deep. Anthony Taylor will do his job. He's a professional, I hope. And it is what it is. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. And like I said, look, I made my prediction of what I think is going to happen this summer. The dream target, the realistic target, what I think will happen. The video's over here. I cover the 5 positions I believe we're going to address. Go check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out.